Today, we're going to go over what the class this weekend is going to be about. Last week's class, if you were here, you know that it was about safety. One of the biggest problems in the auto body industry, or even in the detailing industry, is the safety issue for us and the safety issue for the car. So that's what we kind of highlighted on the first week. This week's class, what we're going to talk about is profitability. Everything in the body shop industry has a timeline to it. That means, everything has to, it's about making money. It's about putting a certain amount of time in and walking away with a profit. So what we try to do as a company servicing that need is show the auto body owners how CSI helps to control cost by not only controlling it by the amount of products or the few products that we have and the only products that you need, we say, but by controlling the time. So we go over, how we're faster, how we're going to be safer, like we talked about last week, and how we can produce that finish, no matter what. If it's a show car like this one, or regular production cars that have to go out with, an OE finish, back to original finish. So one of the things that we do in the auto body industry is we use a lot of rotary tools. One thing I want to show you, and one of the things that we're going to talk about in this week's class here at CSI, is using a rotary, when to use a rotary, and when to use an oscillating tool. This is an oscillating tool, like a DA tool to remove swirl marks. Both of these tools have a purpose, but again, it comes down to being very, very productive. And we feel at CSI that because we're in body shops all the time, every week, that there's no way you're going to be productive enough using just an oscillating tool. You have to use a rotary tool. So my job is to go in and certify these young guys coming into the trade and show them how to produce a deliverable finish every single time using rotary. One thing I want to talk about is paint transfer. This is an original acrylic lacquer paint. Very rare car, very expensive car, and you can see that this was here for a full cut and rub, and you can see the amount of paint that is transferred to this pad. If you're using regular clear coats, you're not going to see that paint transfer, but that doesn't mean that pad isn't clogged up just because you can't see it. So the reason why I'm showing you this is that this could be a serious issue. When it gets this bad, just throw the pads away. It's not worth hurting a paint job like this. Just throw it away. I use 3 wool pads on this car. This is, obviously a used pad. This is what a brand new pad looks like. These are our Tiger Cut wool. This is the only wool pad that we make. So self-centering, put it on the buffer, centers on the 6-inch backing plate, a very special backing plate too, made for doing what we're doing here. It's very, very strong, so if you're aggressive, you're going to have less chance of breaking this backing plate compared to the other backing plates that I've seen on the market that are kind of flimsy. When you're buffing, and we're just going to kind of highlight what we're going to talk about on Saturday on being productive. Obviously, you do this on the car, on these peak lines, and you're going to burn it. And you're going to have to, it's going to cost you a lot of money. If you can even fix it. Because this is lacquer, this would be next to impossible. So we definitely don't want to do any burning on this car. When you use a rotary, you need to consider the rotation of the pad. All rotaries spin in a clockward manner, just like a clock. So starting at 12, they rotate, around this pad in a clockward direction. If you use this pad properly, you're going to have a lot less chance of burning. If you use this pad improperly, pretty much you're going to burn this car. So again, because this is all a study of time, we want to show how to properly use this pad. When you cut with a wool pad, there is only one direction that you cut with. You don't cut in both directions. It's just like a saw. A saw only cuts in one direction. So the pad rotates this way. You're not doing any cutting. That's a good time to apply product. And as you know, we say put the product on the pad. When the product is on the center of the pad properly, that's a perfect time to apply product. Go back to flat, apply the product, come up on edge slightly, and cut when you pull back to yourself. So the cutting action is working against the rotation. These are some of the things that we're going to talk about on how to make a rotary tool more productive in your shop. Because at the end of the day, whether you're using my product or somebody else's product, I want to see you make money. I don't want to see you get into this trade and not make money. If you're a detailer, I want to see you clocking hours so that you can, take that money and do what you want with it at the end of the day. Buffing is fun. Buffing is very, very fun. It was probably the thing I looked forward to most, getting into the trade. I instantly thought that, as a little boy, I'd be painting cars, and my dad's like, "What? You're not painting no cars?" But as we, go through the process of learning each and every step, it does take a lot of work, and this is no different. This takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of skill to be productive with a rotary buffer. So we got lots of toys from last week, and I'll show a picture of that. And I'd love to have you come out to CSI. Thanks for checking in on Facebook and our YouTube channel.